Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are keeping well. So in today's video, I'm going to go over a very nice setup that occurred on GBP USD. Before we get even started into that, I'm going to speak a little bit about market conditions and how you can kind of tweak your strategy a little bit when it comes to market conditions. Now, before we get started, guys, for anyone that is interested in the Orderflow software, we have just released a monthly package for the Orderflow software, so make sure you go ahead and check the link down below in the description to get access to that. A lot of you have requested it, and finally we've been able to deliver on it. Now, when it comes to GBP, I want you to take a look at the daily time frame real quick. You'll see that in every single market and in every single currency pair, you will get a period of massive expansion, a period of just, price being exhausted, pulling back, etc. There are multiple different ways to trade each one. It's very important to be able to identify which phase you are in. For example, down here, trading these days right here is a bit different to trading this expansion here. Trading this pullback is a bit different to trading this expansion right here. So you need to be very careful in the way that you enter your trades. Very careful in the way that you also get into your the way you also exit your trades. So it's very important. For example, entering trades right here in this phase, I don't really need to look for a lot of liquidity grabs. Okay, I will just look for a simple point of interest and I'll buy from it, a point of interest and I'll buy from it, etc. But whereas when we're trading in these type of conditions where you're getting a lot more slower pip range moves, I'm looking for a lot of liquidity grabs first of all in order to back and sponsor these moves. So it's very important you are able to learn how to identify structure on the higher time frame, and the best way to do this honestly is just by looking at the weekly time frame, trading into areas such as imbalances right here. Trading into this, a lot of time you'll be able to find that the market just completely pushes through. Okay, very volatile moves and just continues expanding. Now it's very important that you understand that usually as we follow the higher time frame trend, the expansions to the upside are going to be more volatile than the pullbacks to the downside. Okay, so that's one thing to keep in mind. And as I said, every single market condition, which they switch very quickly, and this is why a lot of people feel like their trading differentiates from time to time. It's because they don't realize that the market has switched up a little bit and they don't tweak and optimize their strategy to handle that regard. Okay, so today's setup was very simple. I'm going to break it down right here, and it occurred on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so the setup played out like this. It's a very easy setup, honestly. So you have your low that was formed here, and you have the high that broke the previous high. Okay, so this is our current structure, and I simply just wanted price to pull back in, and as you can see, we have this demand zone. I wanted price to react from this demand zone, and I was looking for a simple buy setups. Okay, once I see price tap into my order block right here, I want to go down to the lower time frame, and I want to simply see price form a break and retest. Okay, so as you can see, price takes its time. Boom. So what does price do right here? Price ends up breaking my institutional candle. It ends up breaking here the most recent high, and we get a change of character. After I see it break this high, I simply will enter upon the retracement of this high. Now it simply just broke right here, went back down, filled in the imbalance, and away it goes. So I would have executed this trade right here. Okay, and I would have looked to enter the trade right here as it breaks this. Now, I would go onto my Orderflow software and pull up my delta to see if price was actually ready to react from this zone or not. Okay, so let's pull up the Orderflow. Now, the Orderflow on something like this isn't as clear as you usually like it, and sometimes, like, some of you might have taken a look at the order flow right here and would have been like, okay, this is not enough confirmation. Some of you would have taken a bit like, this is okay. I took this because I knew CPI was coming, and all I needed to see was at least for price to favor in my side a little bit. Now, it's not as clear as usual, but if we take a look at the whole range right here, you can see that overall the buyers are a little bit stronger than the sellers as we step down right here. But then as we come in just like maybe 10 minutes before CPI, you can see a lot of pressure on the sell side. and price going nowhere. So this is all the sell side right here. Okay, all the sellers being absorbed. Look, minus 157, minus 177, minus 183, and all of this is being absorbed because we're not printing bearish candles. And because it is CPI and we are literally within the point of interest and the price action is literally bullish, the market structure is bullish, this would have been a decent trade for me to enter, and I did enter this buy and, you know, capitalize on it really nicely. Now this is an example where order flow isn't the best here, so I'm going to show you another trade that would have played out literally the next day. Okay, so let's go back onto the chart and we let price, I'm going to remove the replay right here, we let price do his thing, and here was another trade that played out today. So as you can see, we had the usual consolidation right here and price manipulated to the downside. This is CMT, and for anyone that doesn't know this, you can literally learn about it on my YouTube videos, or you can go ahead and get access to my smart money course, which is only 99 euros, the price of shoes at this point. And I teach CMT, where you see consolidation, price manipulates to the downside, and as you can see, taps into my point of interest down here, and then the trends to the upside. So what I would have done right here is I would have went down onto the lower time frame, on the 1 minute time frame, and simply just wait for a break and retest and look at how price reacts on the order flow from my point of interest as it taps in. So the beautiful thing about order flow is I'm not trying to predict anything. I'm waiting for price to tap into my order block or institutional candle or whatever. You can apply this to your strategy how you want. Personally, I mix it with SMC, and yeah, it's extremely powerful because it helps you validate your points of interest, which in turn helps you stay out of trades that are most likely not high probable, and this automatically increases your win rate. So when I pull up the order flow footprint, this is basically our price action right here on the 3 minute time frame. I could drop, usually I would look at it from the 1 minute time frame, but just to explain it is usually easier on the 3 minute time frame. And as you can see, as we were stepping down, sellers were in control. There was very few buyers. But as we start tapping into my point of interest, look, now there's a surge of buyers stepping in. This is a fairly decent candle right here, 141, and the delta as well matches 141. Now really quickly, for anyone that's not understanding what I'm saying here and you think I'm just blabbering on and trying to impress you, everything that I'm saying right here I've taught on the free order flow beginners course, which is on this YouTube channel. Just check out the playlist. So if you go ahead and watch all of that and then come back and start watching these kind of weekly videos that I'm uploading, you're going to understand everything that I'm speaking about when it comes to the delta and the points of interest, etc. But as you can see, really nice play right here. Once again, not the clearest setup. Okay, so you're not always going to get the clearest setups, but we've gotten enough confirmation in order to enter that trade. So if we break it down really quickly, we see we have a surge of buyers now stepping in, some decent volume on these candles. When we take a look at the volume here, 177, 175, 274, 500, etc. Now we're at 1000, and then 1000 here as well, 2.5k. And price hasn't really went down a lot. Essentially what happened right here is a decent amount of absorption within this candle. Now this was a news candle, it happened at 1:30, so news actually stepped in right at this time, but price still got absorbed right here because the sellers got absorbed. As you can see right here, it was a very strong amount of selling, minus 340, minus 270, and the volume is 2500, and the pip range on this isn't big. Once again, we try push down a little bit more with minus 220, minus 180, and 1134, and we still don't really go anywhere. Most of the trading occurred right here on the COT, and usually call this like a slingshot, because essentially most of the trading occurred right here, but the candle closed up here. The next candle straight after that closed up here. This is a very good sign for us to start looking for buys right here. Breaking it down even more, you can start looking at multiple buying imbalances. So once you see a pink rectangle marked there on the candle, it shows that there's at least 3 or more imbalances within that candle, and that helps you show that there's, you know, aggressive buyers or aggressive selling within that candle. It's very helpful as a confirmation. So you see 3 buying imbalances within here, and where I would have gotten in would have been at the close of this candle. Okay, I see that 3 times. Look, 1, like this whole range, sellers are in control. This whole candle, sellers are very very strong, and this whole candle, sellers are very strong, but it runs out of steam. This whole move runs out of steam, and that's what you're looking at. You're comparing this range essentially with what happens here, and this whole move ran out of steam. So you see very strong volume, intense volume right here, intense selling delta, minimum delta. Okay, and price fails to go any lower. I mean, the range from here is about here to there. And if we're looking at the bodies from here to here. Okay, so it hasn't went anywhere. And then we see the next candle and we take a look at the law of effort and result, which is only 89 right here, max delta 89, but this is the size of the candle. Okay, so this is the size of the candle. So a minus 220 delta candle is smaller than an 89 max delta candle. Now, once again, this is the law of effort and result. And if it's something that you don't understand, once again, I would definitely recommend watching the beginners order flow course. It will make sense. Once you understand this, this is a very, very good sign to buy for me. I would enter right here, stop loss below the low here, or if you want to be a little bit more riskier and you want to have a wider stop loss, you can essentially place the stop loss below the low right here, and I would have entered the buy. As we keep going, sellers once again try to step into the market on minus 129, minus 93, and literally zero buying, but price isn't going anywhere. You still would have been in profit right here. As you continue, boom, the sellers really take control right here. 571, 581, and the selling right here is zero. This is what I call a high conviction candle. High conviction candle because look, the amount of like a lot of buying imbalances right here. The delta, the net delta and the max delta are nearly very similar numbers, 571, 581. Min delta is zero, and the delta itself is larger than, at least, like it's nearly about 60-70% of the whole volume. This shows you that this whole candle is pretty much just buying. It's extremely strong buying, and the battle of the buyers have completely overtaken the sellers in this battle. And yeah, this would have been a beautiful momentum candle for me, and I would continue to hold. I'd continue to hold the setup until I start seeing some strong selling stepping into the market. When I see some strong selling stepping into the market that is overtaking the buyers, then I would exit my trade. And as you can see, this is when it started occurring. Okay, so a lot of the time right at a high, you'll see a huge amount of delta step in, but price will go nowhere. Once again, being absorbed. So right here, step in, being absorbed. Next candle, no buying. Next candle, 6 buying, but the sellers are getting stronger. The sellers are getting stronger, and there's no buying. And this is when price starts going against you, and this would be a very good time to take profit. Okay, so that is pretty much it for this trade. Once again, as I said, if you are getting a little bit confused with things that I'm speaking about here, go ahead, watch the free Orderflow beginners course. Go ahead down to the link down below in the description, get your monthly package and play around with the Orderflow, and look at it. Something like this comes with time. It is very easy to be able to analyze order flow. It's very easy. Honestly, if you have a good decent strategy when it comes to price action, SMC, or anything when it comes to just technical analysis, and you understand that, well, order flow is going to be easier, okay, to understand. It might look a little bit confusing, but it really isn't. So with that being said, I appreciate every single one of you for watching all the way through to the end. That is it for this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a great day.